Alicia Crank. I'm the Director of Leadership Mountain View. LMV is a 9-month civic and community leadership program that meets one Friday a month between September and May. And program members get to learn all the different facets of Mountain View, from business to education to arts and media. It's really just a great way for a community member or an employee that works in the city to know how Mountain View functions. The networking part of the program is really unique because you do get the gamut of different people in the community that come and be a part of the program. So they're going to meet everyone from the educational leaders in the community, we're talking the superintendents, the teachers, all the way up to those who are managers at one of the local nonprofits, CHAC, CSA, Day Worker Center. Then you also get those who work for the big three in the city, which would be Google, Microsoft, and Intuit. So it really does run the gamut on who you're going to meet in this community. You learn so much about how this city works. You really get to see this inside focus on how these different departments work together as well as independently. You're also going to meet your elected officials in the city, whether it's your school board members, your city council members. It really does just give you an inside look on how this all comes together. There is a lot of programming and content that's put into each program days. It's almost overwhelming, but it's a compliment because we have a lot of these organizations that want to be part of the day. They want to share what they do, not only as a business or an entity, but how they bring that back into the Mountain View community. A lot of organizations that participate, a lot of the people that present, they're people that come back 2, 3, 4 times continuously because they enjoy the relationship with the program and also the program members that they meet. I want every program day to be the ability to walk away and say, it was absolutely worth it because I learned this. The second thing I like to try to get people to have out of the program is a sense of teamwork and camaraderie, that people are able to, share ideas with one another, to be able to create those relationships where there is discussion outside of the class to say, this is what I got out of it, and maybe person B got this other thing out of it, and kind of sharing these different nodes of information. So I want people to walk away knowing that if they have a question about a certain specific sector of this community or of this particular business, they know that now they can directly reach out to those people. I love networking, I love relationship management, so every year I'm going to get to know at least 30 different people. That includes the program members, any new presenters that may be introduced into the program, the expanded networks from the people that come through the program. I know that I'm going to always continuously meet new people, build upon relationships, and again, be able to leverage them in a way that they want to do something for LMV and that we want to be able to help them as well. Leadership Mountain View wants to be that community connector, and we're in a unique position to do it.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming to now our second annual community fundraiser. And it's a great way, I think, to be able to kick off Memorial Day weekend because we all like to get out of the office on Friday, and now you have a really good excuse, and we can send you off with a nice meal and some fellowship. So thank you again for making this a successful event for us. I'm not going to do a lot of talking. I'm Alicia Crank, as you saw from the video. And that's probably the most you're going to hear me talk today, outside of that. This community luncheon is multifaceted. It's a way for alums to come together at least one time a year and kind of catch up and see what's going on. It's a way for people in the community to be able to know what it is that we really do. And I get to hear it from alumni instead of the person that's paid to say that it's awesome. And 3 is also a way for us to help underwrite our program. You're going to hear a lot about what we've done and how LMV connects with other members and businesses in the community. But one of the things I'm really proud of this program is that it really is community-centered and that it's accessible to everyone, not just people of a certain title or who make a certain amount of money. It's really about bringing the community of Mountain View together. So with that, I'm going to start with a very enthusiastic speaker, one of our recent graduates from KMVT, who also produced that video you just saw, is graduate of the class of 2014, Christina Hagan.
Hello. My name is Christina Hagan, and I am the office manager at KMVT here in Mountain View, and a 2014 LMV grad. Best class ever. I thought my story was a little different than most because originally I really did not want to take LMV. And despite encouragement from Alicia and my boss, Shelly, I didn't think LMV was going to be the right fit for me. I didn't understand how this class was going to benefit me or how it would help with my work and personal relationships. Shelly's final words on the matter were, "It's your turn to take it. I already signed you up, and don't worry, you're going to love it." Now, going into LMV, you hear a lot about it from previous graduates. It kind of has a reputation. Like, it's so much fun, or you will get to visit lots of cool places. You're going to meet so many great people and develop some really great relationships. And just like that, it was September and the first day of LMV. Shelly wished me luck, told me to have a great day. I felt like it was my first day of school. I was so nervous. I just kept telling myself, don't be nervous. You have so much to bring to this group, and you have just as much to bring as the next person. So just go with it and have a good time. I saw Shelly after day one at a reception for our class and alums. And she asked me how the day went. Well, who did you meet? What did you do? Was Alicia nice to you? I smiled big and I said, it was awesome. I'm sure Shelly was relieved to hear that I enjoyed it. From that day forward, I took it all in. I asked lots of questions and I tried to get to know all of my classmates. Each month, I couldn't wait for the next program day. One of the many cool things about LMV is I got a behind-the-scenes tour of Mountain View that I probably would never had a chance to get if not in LMV. Having a private Q&A with the city council, touring El Camino and watching their robots work, visiting the fire and police station and getting a hands-on demo of the guns were just a few of my favorites. It was truly incredible. I had only been to 2 of the program day locations before LMV, and one of the locations was at my own job, KMVT. I found out about many great organizations and businesses that I would have never knew existed before LMV, and I've worked in Mountain View over 10 years. When looking back, I'm not sure why I was so against taking this class. I think I was just content being in my bubble, maybe a little shy, I know. And honestly, I just didn't think I could get anything out of this class. However, now I find myself agreeing to and doing things that I just don't think would have been possible or happened before LMV. For example, speaking to all of you today. Because when Alicia asked me, of course, I said yes. And her comment was, if I would have asked you 9 months ago, your answer would have been no. And I said, and that's correct, because she knew that I was not a big fan of public speaking. But why wouldn't I want to speak about LMV? And why would I not want to let people know how great my experience was? I am now on the PTA at my daughter's school, and I agreed to be the team mom for her T-ball team. And I look forward to volunteering more in the community and being a better ambassador for my job, KMVT. We graduated last Friday, and it was very bittersweet. I was happy I completed the class, and I gave it 110%, but I was also upset that it was over. There would be no more amazing program days, and I wouldn't get to see my classmates every month. I had come full circle. I would love to take the class again. I had been informed I can't. So I will gladly help Alicia with anything LMV in the future. If someone was contemplating signing up for Leadership Mountain View, I would passionately tell them to go for it. It will be one of the best experiences of your life, and I would tell them all the things that people repeatedly told me 9 months before. I want to say thank you to Alicia for making this program so amazing. You put so much effort into every program day, and that is why LMV has such a great reputation and is so successful. Thank you for asking me to speak on behalf of LMV today. And last but not least, I want to say thank you to my boss and friend Shelley Wolf for giving me this opportunity, for signing me up for LMV and not listening to me when I said, no, I really don't want to take it, over and over and over, and for believing in me and seeing a leader when I didn't see one in myself. So thank you very much. And next, I would like to present John Igoe from Google.
Oops. That's a tough act to follow. Well, first of all, thank you very much. I'm so pleased that you were able to join us today. I have just been so impressed with the LMV program, having served on the board. It's just a unique opportunity. So I think my words were supposed to be, what can companies get out of this? Because I realize that there's a bit of a sacrifice, not only on the part of the student going through the program, but also with regard to the company, because they're losing that time, if you will, of that person being here. But I would just say that any employers that in the room, that there is just so much you get out of it, because of just thinking about all the contacts. You saw the video, and if you just talk to anybody that's been through the program, the ability to be able to see the whole cross-section of the city of Mountain View is extraordinary, because it's not only all of the, if you will, the city council, the city staff, and everything of that nature, but also to get, if you will, to see the inside of the hospital, to understand what the television program is, to understand different corporate sponsors that they come and visit. It is an extraordinary program. And I think that part of it is also the collegiality that comes from the members of the classmates, of each one sharing with each other and growing together. So I just can't encourage companies enough to say that this is a great program. It requires, again, some sacrifice. I want to absolutely congratulate all the graduates. I know that it's from September to May is a long time period, and that there are probably some days when it'd be just as well that, well, I don't know whether I want to go today or not, but I'm sure that never happened. But I think Alicia probably wouldn't let it happen. But again, congratulations, Alicia, because you just have been the heart and soul of this program, and you've just done a wonderful job. And so just congratulations to you. And also congratulations to Oscar and the whole team at the Chamber, because it's a team program. Alicia's front and center with it, but the whole team at the Chamber does a great job in supporting this program, and for all the sponsors that have during the year made their contribution, and all those who have hosted the program. So it's just, again, we're really pleased that we were able to be part of it. We hope to continue to be part of it for many, many more years. And we wish all of the graduates very, very sincere congratulations. And we hope that you got out of it as much as everyone else that was part of the program got putting into it. So we really thank you very much. I think that I am now going to invite Chris up to speak. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Chris Hsiung. I'm with the Mountain View Police Department, LMV class of 2007. Shout out to my LMV buddy at table 7 over there, Allison Hopkins. It's a pleasure to be here. When Alicia asked me to speak, I said, well, I'll only do it if I can start off with, it was a dark and stormy night. So here I go. It was a dark and stormy night. Actually, I'm not going to go down that road, but 20 years ago, I went through the police academy, and you'll see why this makes sense in a second. It marks all police officers because you spend the next few months getting yelled at, doing push-ups, you have a shared experience of a little bit of suffering, a little bit of learning, and you have a common bond. And that's why, as police officers, we can call upon any other officer in the country and say, hey, I need some help, because we have that shared bond. LMV is similar in some ways, because there may or may not be some push-ups depending on which class you went through, but they do have a drill instructor. I won't mention her by name, but she does keep us to task. But there's a lot of shared experiences that we go through. And of course, our eyes are opened up to the various facets of the community that are just, everyone's here to help each other out, and really, it's a fulfilling experience. What's really incredible about LMV with public safety is that now, I don't know how many years Mountain View PD has been investing people in, but the vast majority of our leadership team are graduates. And that's really neat because they have a network into the Mountain View community to help solve problems. Most police departments can be reactive. We're very good at it. Someone calls 911, we go. But to solve problems, that takes networking. That takes knowing the right people in the right places. And that's how we prevent crime, and that's how we keep a community as safe as it is here in Mountain View. It's an incredible dynamic. You've heard the term, it takes a village to raise a child. Well, it takes a community to protect a city. It's a partnership, right? We can't do it alone. As much as we would like to think cops can be on every corner, the reality is we need to find community citizens and residents here to give us a call when they see something. But that also means that we can make that phone call ahead of a crime to reach out to someone in the hospital or the school district or anyone that we've met through LMV. So it's an incredible partnership. We as public servants are entrusted with that mission, and a mission really that's only made possible through the connections that we've made here. So thank you very much. I'd like to spend this time now to just introduce my fellow cohort in public safety, Greg Cooper from the fire department.
Well, good afternoon. First of all, I have to kind of put to rest this whole issue of 2014 being the best class ever. She says it to every class. I mean, come on. Yeah, that's 2011. Thank you. 2011. So I want to let you all in a little secret, and you have to promise to keep this a secret. I met with Alicia. She actually pulled me aside before we came in today, and she says, "Hey, Greg, there's something I need to tell you." And I said, "Okay, what is it?" She says, "Police and firefighters, you guys are my favorite." And I was like, "Okay, cool, I get it." It doesn't make a lot of sense to me why. Oh, wait a minute, I forgot. Oh, Starbucks gift card, Alicia, right here. If you don't know Alicia, Starbucks gift cards, if that's the way, if you need to get something done, this is the way to do it. So I'll leave that right there for you. You know what, if I pull back the curtain a little bit on public safety, you know what, and I talk to firefighters, I'm a firefighter paramedic here, but I'm also the firefighter president for the Mountain View firefighters. If I pull back the curtain just a little bit, I talk to firefighters up and down the state, all across the county, and there are similarities within public safety. And one of them is, quite frankly, that there oftentimes is a little bit of either competition or maybe a little bit of a rub between firefighters and police officers. I was trying to figure out what in the world is it, and I just figured it out. We don't have that shared bond. So we get on scene, and quite frankly, I think it is, we just have a difference in what we do. One of the things that LMV has done, and when Alicia asked me, how has it impacted the fire department? I got to go through LMV with a couple of great officers, one of them who's here today, Mike Fisher, and Greg Oslinski, who I haven't seen. But one of the things that LMV has done for public safety here in Mountain View is it's helped to enhance the relationships between police and fire. And not that it was bad, but you know, it's one thing to get on scene and to be able to run a portion of a call, whether it be a medical aid or what have you, and have police over here making sure the scene's taken care of, you know, and then as you leave or depart, then you just kind of move on. You know, and now what we're able to do is get on scene and go, oh yeah, hey, there's Chris. Oh, Mike, hey, what's happening? And so, you know what, that integration of the relationship, I think, makes our public safety much better, even when we look at other agencies within the county. So I think if there's a benefit to public safety, it's the fact that police and fire have come together quite a bit. You know, it's funny, even during our class, we became so close, me, Mike, and Greg, that they allowed me to produce a dance video that they, yeah, do we have that queued up, ready to go? No? Okay. I think it went viral on YouTube, so I'm sure they can probably find it on YouTube. Mike's turning awfully red, so. I'm still waiting for payback. I'm still waiting. You know, the other thing that that LMV did for us as a fire department is it allowed us to offer services in a more complete manner. You know, being a paramedic here for probably about 10, 11 years when I came in, there were a couple things I was very surprised about when I went through LMV. The first was the fact that we have a program here in Mountain View called Rotacare. I was absolutely devastated that I didn't know this. Rotacare is a great program that's offered through the wide El Camino Hospital, where doctors from El Camino go over and they offer medical services for free for people that can't afford it. I don't know how many times I've run on calls with people on the street or people that just had a challenge paying for health care, and we became kind of the end of the call. Well, now I can continue that care. Or somebody that doesn't fit that EMS profile, we can go ahead and slide them over and continue the care. We had another call not too long ago. I walked in on a gentleman, and we got the call for chest pain. And as we were walking into the house, he was walking out of the house, which didn't make a lot of sense. And I said, so what's going on? He says, my wife is nuts. I can't handle it anymore. And so I kind of laughed, right, because it caught me off guard a little bit. But then I realized we do have a real issue here, right? And that's what I talk about in terms of not fitting that EMS profile perfectly. Well, before I left the scene, I got on the phone and I called my friends over at the Community Services Agency, and I said, we got a problem. And they said, listen, we're going to get right on that. And so they had made contact with the man, and they did what they could to help, because he had a wife that had some mental issues and needed some help. So it was great. In terms of community, you know, as Chris was saying, we're here to serve you. That's what we do. And you know, going through these classes, what it does is it allows us to get closer to the folks that we serve. And we had a little bit smaller of a class, which made it more intimate, which is why 2011 is really the best class ever. But you know what, as we go through these classes every year, the reality is we get to know you more and more, and that's what we really appreciate. So for those of you that are contemplating going through LMV, I highly recommend it. For those of you that have businesses that want to send your employees through, I highly recommend it. And if you're thinking about making a contribution today, I highly support it, because we'll be making a contribution today before we go. So thank you very much. Next, I'd like to introduce Oscar Garcia.
So, Greg, as her boss, I know the reason that Alicia loves police and fire is the uniform. Yeah, it's a uniform. And this year, I think there was some from the Army Reserve, so you guys got competition now. Anyway, so Alicia asked me to talk about what it means, what Leadership Mountain View means to the business leader, the business owner. And I want to approach it from the small business standpoint, because you heard from John with a large company. And I know that as a small business owner, you wear many, many hats. You're pressed for time. So let me just cut to the chase and tell you why LMV should be important to you. This is it. It's an S with 2 lines down the middle, okay? Now, obviously, I mean, you got to look at it from a holistic, broader standpoint. At the Chamber, we talk about how the Chamber of Commerce, we're the Chamber of Commerce. We're not the Chamber of Business. We're not the Chamber of the Community. We're not the Chamber of Charity. We're the Chamber of Commerce. And the reason why we focus on commerce is because we do look at it from a holistic approach. In order to have commerce, you have to have, obviously, businesses. You have to have the community that supports those businesses. You have to have the infrastructure in place. I mean, there's so many facets within the community that need to exist in order to facilitate commerce. And so as a small business owner, I encourage you to look at not just a dollar symbol, not open up your business and expect people to just walk in your door and not give back to the community. I think there's 3 things that I think you should focus on. Number 1 is developing relationships. It is very, very important to, I mean, if you look around just in this room alone, we have elected officials here. We have, again, police and fire. We have other business owners. We have people that are influencers, that are heads of their neighborhood association. And one day, you're going to have an issue that's going to come up before you, and you're going to want to be able to just pick up the phone, make some phone calls to some of your friends, to some of your allies, explain to them, and Leadership Mountain View provides that close relationship that can help you as a business. The other reason is partnerships. So earlier this year, Mark from Scottsdale went through Leadership Mountain View, and he had a fundraiser that he had agreed to, and there were some folks from LMV that were part of it in his class, and then other people from other classes. And that fundraiser, not only did it create exposure for Scott's Seafood, but they were able to raise, I think it was about $3,000 that went back to the Community Services Agency. And we're just spread again. So, you know, just helping out the community. And then lastly is supporting your community. One of the things that I think sometimes as a business owner we forget is that in order for our business to grow, we have to give to grow. And that's a universal law that applies to anything that we do. We want something back. We always hear about you know, how karma's a bitch. We always think of it from a negative standpoint. But you know what the reality is that yeah, of course, you know, you go out there and do bad things are going to come back. But if you go out there and plant some good seeds and give good, that is going to come back as well. It's not like a law that it's only works on the negative, works on the positive. So, you know, again, from a business standpoint, support your community, give back, and your business will flourish. So I actually would like to introduce Leanne, who's a small business owner, and she'll be talking about the impact of LMV overall in the community.
Hi everyone, I'm Leanne Relfs, and I'm the owner of Helming's Auto Repair with my husband. And I went through Leadership Mountain View in 2010, Alicia's first class, and the best class, no matter what they say. And I knew about Leadership Mountain View for a long time. I'd been very active with the chamber and had served in leadership positions. And finally, when I was ready and able to go through Leadership Mountain View, I learned so much more about my community than I had ever known before, and I've lived here since 1994, and it was an invaluable resource. With regards to the impact on the community, so my community project was creating a mechanism for the neighborhoods and schools to work together. And so my partner was Wouter Suverkrop, and he was our neighborhood president of Montaloma Neighborhood Association. And so we created a mechanism for neighbors who wanted to volunteer at Montaloma School to be able to do that. And so there was a voice and a connection between Montaloma and our neighborhood, and we had rocket scientists who wanted to help in science at school. We had people who were retired that wanted to volunteer their reading time or help tutor students. We have a lot of English language learners at Montaloma, and those resources were needed. We needed bodies to help. And one of the big projects that we did was take artists from our community and a whole bunch of manpower and paint, and we painted a map of the United States and a map of the globe on our playground. So we had a map on the playground a number of years prior, but the playground was then like covered with tar again, or repaved. So that was all covered up. So we had a whole bunch of volunteers that we got together, scheduled a weekend, and people painted out the United States and the globe. And the kids loved it. I mean, the unveiling was tremendous. The kids would go out and they're standing on America, and then they're standing on, Africa, and they would talk about it, and it was starting conversations, and that was incredible to watch. So that was just one thing that a way in which LMV impacted the community. Another one is, about Mountain View Reads. That was an LMV project. That was really cool. All of Mountain View is reading a book together and having a conversation. That's just another way that LMV impacted the community. Some of the things, like Greg was talking about too, I never knew about Rotocare. There were so many things that I didn't know about that I learned about through Leadership Mountain View that made me want to give more, that I wanted to give my time to, that then I had if I ran across somebody in the community that was having an issue, and this really did come up, where somebody was between jobs, didn't have insurance, and she had an infection, and she didn't know what to do. I'm like, go to Rotocare. She was so jazzed that and I thought about that, and I wouldn't have if I hadn't gone through Leadership Mountain View. Another hat that I wear is, I'm on the Little League board, and Mountain View Fire sponsors a team, and so it's all of these connections that we make in our community with people that we see. And I see a lot of you everywhere, and I love that. I love that I can walk downtown, and I see people that I either heard at a program day, that I've served with on a board or a council, that were in my class, or that I've met through other people through Leadership Mountain View. these are these touch points that are so important and mean a lot to me. And Leadership Mountain View, it impacted me personally in such a great way. I'm a relationship person anyway. You know, I really am a connector. And LMV just made that even deeper. And I'm very grateful to it. So thank you very much, Leadership Mountain View. And I would now like to introduce Cynthia Greaves, incoming chair of the board of the Chamber of Commerce.
Well, good afternoon. How is everybody? Isn't that excellent food? Excellent. Thank you, Google. Thank you, John, for hosting us. Thank you, Fire and Safety and Police, for sponsoring, and also to Shoreline for being our sponsors today. Audrey Hepburn was not only a stunning beauty and a gifted actress, she was also a very dedicated humanitarian. So I'm going to share a quote she shared with the world, and that's, remember, if you ever need a helping hand, it's at the end of your arm. As you get older, remember that you have another hand. The first is to help yourself, and the second is to help others. So you've heard from our previous speakers about how LMV helps you individually and how then you can go on to help your community, whether it's through the schools, through taking care of others, every realm, how this program invigorates our community, enriches our lives, and makes our community stronger and more robust. It comes with a fee, and not everyone can pay that fee. It's not an extraordinary fee. In fact, many other leadership groups in the Bay Area are more expensive. Not quite as good, but a little more expensive. So I'm here to ask you to not just open your lunch hour to this great camaraderie, but open your bank account ever so slightly to help us fund some scholarships for this next year. The scholarships are really vital. They do some basic underwriting of meals, for example, because who can lead on an empty stomach? But more importantly, it helps us get scholarships for those members of our community who can't afford to pay the tuition on their own. That could be the executive director or office manager of a nonprofit organization. It can be our teachers. I mean, I can't imagine my 2005 awesome class. Thank you, Tawana. If we didn't have, I think we had 2 teachers, one of whom became Teacher of the Year 2 years later, 2 school principals, 3 directors of not-for-profits. They couldn't flip the bill by themselves. So the scholarships are crucial to getting more of those really talented bottoms in those awesome seats. So I'd like your help with that. You also help us keep diversity in our composition of our class, or as I think Alicia said, it would just be a bunch of people who are the CEOs, and you know they have enough fancy name tags. I think we should share the wealth. So in addition to being the right thing to do, to make a donation to LMV to help fill some of the next coming classes, in addition to being a good thing, there's also a reward attached to it today, and it comes from one of our sponsors from Shoreline. So there are about 100 of us in here right now, so if everybody gave $100, that would be, make a couple of scholarships, because I'm not a mathematician, I'm a PR person. So if you could give $100, you would be entered in a drawing for some tickets, and I will reveal the artist in a moment. If, however, you can up the ante and give $200 to this next class year scholarship fund, you can be entered for, or eligible for, and I'm holding it in my hand, 2 VIP passes to Barry Gibbs. I don't know about you, but I like to meet people who can speak and sing that high, so this is your chance. He doesn't have his brothers, but you know that would be an act of God, really. So, and then the other performance is either Barry Gibbs or Toby Keith and his very cock that hat and say howdy do in your cowboy boots. That'd be your chance to sit in the VIP section with Toby. So $200 donation to the scholarship fund today gets you in line for those tickets, either to see Barry or Toby. So who's game? Can I see a show of hands who really likes Toby or really has been waiting their whole life? Oh, that looks like a donation to me. So the other concert, if you are willing to give a $100 donation today, you will be eligible to get tickets to the Backstreet Boys. Want to sing along? I'm not singing by myself. Or Lionel Richie. Hello, is it you I'm looking for? So this is an awesome thing thanks to Shoreline. So please consider giving. Don't just consider, give. and help us fund the next awesome class. Be that hand that not just helped yourself by enrolling and graduating from Leadership Mountain View, but extend that other hand, put the elbow out, and help us really raise some money today to help have a fabulous, vibrant class next year as well, because we need another best class. I think we can agree. So thank you very much.
So I just want to say thank you to everyone who came today. Thank you for your donations. I know many people that have come through the program were able to be, underwritten thanks to our corporate sponsors and donations that you're making today. I need to humble out because as a true leader, you should be able to admit when you made an error. So I apologize, Greg Cooper, for leaving your name off the agenda. That was totally my fault. But thank you at the same time for being one of our sponsors today. So thank you very much. Hopefully you also saw these beautiful mugs on your table. There's one for each of you. This is our gift to you for spending your afternoon with us. So please take one with you. Enjoy it. It doesn't change color when it's hot, but it's still cool to drink out of. I do want to thank our sponsors, Google, for hosting us today. They did a fantastic job. If we can give them a round of applause. Then, Greg, is there really money on here? No. Man.
Of course there is.
And again, we're grateful for our sponsorship from the fire department, from the POA of the Firefighters Association. Is your, I'm trying not to get people in trouble. Yeah. And then thank you, Debbie Villa and Shoreline Amphitheater. Thank you for your generous ticket donations for today. Please give them all a round of applause. So with this event, we are wrapping up our LMV's 25th anniversary, 25 years, you guys. And I've had the great honor of being the director for the past 5 years. So those of you who came through under me and you're here, I'm glad you survived. Thank you so much for being here. I'm also grateful for Tawana Carney, one of my predecessors, who also made this program what it is today. Thank you to my boss for your kind words. Thank you to my alumni council. If you could all stand up, please. They're all the ones that make the program great. So with that, finish your food, finish filling out those forms, because I know who didn't fill it out, and then take your mug, and have a great Memorial Day weekend, everybody. Thank you.